Welcome to the Vulnerable Room. Hey everybody, welcome on back to another episode of the Vulnerable Room podcast. I know, it's been a long time since I've done an episode. The last time we chat one-on-one has been in season 2. So now this is like FaceTime for the girls and the guys who tap in. So let's catch up. How y'all been doing? How's your summer going? If you want to chat about it, feel free to DM me. You know that I talk back. I know you guys are curious about what's been going on in my world since the last time I've been sitting in this chair. So first things first, I went to Carnival. I went to St. Vincent, Vincy Mas. And I will say, Vincy has my heart. Vincy has my heart. I had a time. That was the best carnival experience I've ever experienced. That was my first island carnival. And although it wasn't like a real vacation where I'm just like getting up and not doing nothing, sitting by the poolside, it was nothing but madness. Nothing but fetting after fetting after fetting around good vibes, good people, good food. Well, actually, we survived off of sunset cocktails and chicken and chips. Okay. I went with my best friend, my sister, one of my high school friends, Shine. Shout out to you, Nick. It was a time. Although I saw other people out there that I knew, I stayed with these group of people. And I will say that whenever you're going to carnival or any like vacation for that matter, sorry, I'm over here fixing myself, sorry. Any vacation for that matter, you got to make sure that you're going with the right set of people, because the wrong group of people or the wrong person can make or break your vacation. This set of people, perfect. Everybody was able to like jump to the next thing. If there was a problem here, all right, what's the solution here? Oh, this person is drunk. We got them. Don't worry about it. Everybody's together. One band, one sound. Loved it. Shout out to Oxygen Mass. Shout out to the parties that I went to. Brunch at Soca, AM Jamboree. I'm still mad that I missed Boozy Boat Ride, because if you did not know, the islands were hit by Hurricane Beryl days before Vincy Mas. The islands that were affected were St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and then you have Grenada. Yeah. You went to the island, you saw it one way. After the hurricane, it was a different story. Nonetheless, if you want to hear more about my vacation, follow me on TikTok. I got all the tea on here. And if you're interested in going to that carnival, Vincy Mas, all the details you can find on my TikTok. Okay? So yeah, I kind of want to go back. Not kind of, I do. And let's see if that happens. So I was under the weather twice. So I know when I said I would touch base with you guys, I got sick. I got sick the last day of carnival, and I think it's because of the rain. It rained on and off a lot. So I did get caught up in the rain one night. We're not even going to talk about that. Got caught in the rain and I got sick. Got a little chest cold. Cool. Few weeks after that, which was not too long ago, I had an upper respiratory infection. What is going on? And then I'm hearing people getting viruses, the stomach bug, COVID is going back around. I said, I need to rest up. I need to take care of myself. So I needed to take a break. I needed to listen to my body. So I'm sorry for the delay, y'all, but your girl is here now. I am 100% feeling better. Just a few weeks ago, I was invited onto Erin's Live. She was a guest on season 2 on the episode entitled We Don't Talk Anymore. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Very mindful episode, very demure. Okay, anyways. So she invited me on to her live, and the topic was entitled Showing Up Authentically in the Digital Space. I had such a good time as a guest. Normally I'm the one asking the questions. But some of the questions I was just like, wow, okay, I'm a little nervous to answer these because it was my first time speaking on those things aloud. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. If you have checked it out, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for tapping in. So, books I've read since the last time we caught up, okay? So, I read Black Privilege by Charlemagne. This book had me dying. Like, I love Charlemagne. I feel like he's that person that will sit there and you're thinking it, but he will say it. He don't care about the delivery. He's going to say what everyone else is thinking. And you have to respect sometimes people are just honest. But the book was a 10 out of 10. He gave controversial and brutally honest perspectives on how living authentically leads to success. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This book came out, I think, in 2015, 2016. I could be wrong, but it's one of his first books. Check it out. I learned so much about him and I love him even more now. Somebody's Wife by Robbie Renee. Very grown, very sexy read, very mindful. Let me stop. I'm sorry. I've been wanting to say it. So here we are. Okay. It gave all the feels, but the plot kind of reminded me of the book entitled This Could Be Us. But nonetheless, this is a beautiful story of love in new forms. Nicely written. I would say I would rate this an 8 out of 10. Now, this last book I just finished, The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden. Y'all, that was book number 14, which means I surpassed my reading goals of 12 books for the year. This book right here, I have no words. Fire. Okay? Fire emojis all over. Like, the thriller had me locked in. And I'm not really a big thriller type of person when it comes to books, but I was locked in within the first 5 minutes. And the plot had me rewinding and reacting aloud. And I could see why there's so much hype, especially on TikTok behind this author. Round of applause, okay? Add that to your reading list if you're a reading girly like me, please. 'Cause that book. But let's see what else I could catch you up on. I think that's been pretty much all. My work anniversary, y'all. Remember the last year around this time, I got promoted, started a new job. Well, a few days ago, Monday made 1 year since I've been in this position. I am thankful. I'm reflecting, and to say the least, this year flew by, but I've learned so much, and it's only up from here. I want to continue growing and putting my best foot forward, always in a space to learn more and develop more skills. And yeah, this promotion has been everything, had some ups, had some downs, but more so ups. So I'm just thankful. I thank God that He put this position right in my lap, led me where I needed to be. Because some people were gatekeeping. And that's the topic we're going to talk about today. Okay? So let's dive into today's topic. Today's topic is entitled Gatekeeping. And if you see me looking down, I'm here, I got my little laptop because I forgot my index cards and I just need notes to stay abreast of, what I gotta say. Because it's so easy to get excited and forget what you're about to say. And once this camera goes off, I'm like, damn, I should have said that. But nonetheless, here we are. What is the definition of gatekeeping? Okay. Ooh, wait, hold on. It's a lot going on. I don't know what that was about, but that was kind of cute. But anyways, so what is the definition of gatekeeping? Gatekeeping is the intentional withholding of information, knowledge, access, or opportunity. The urban meaning of gatekeeping is to make your interests exclusive in order to protect them from becoming mainstream. So I know we've heard the term, oh, I want to gatekeep this hotel because I don't want too many people knowing about it, or I'm going to gatekeep this product because next thing you know, once I put it on TikTok, it's going to sell out everywhere. I'm going to gatekeep this restaurant because the next thing you know, the quality of service is going to get watered down. We've heard it all before. But guess what? It is never that serious. In what context is gatekeeping most prevalent? So I think gatekeeping is most prevalent in a few following areas. You have cultural and subcultural communities, academic and professional fields, media and journalism, social media and online spaces, technology and innovation, political and social movements, creative industries, education, and social circles. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit on why I feel like gatekeeping is most prevalent in these areas. So with cultural and subcultural communities, like in the music scenes, in hobbies, etc., long-time members sometimes gatekeep by determining who is authentic or knowledgeable enough to belong. In academic and professional fields, gatekeeping can occur when individuals or institutions control who has access to knowledge, resources, or opportunities based on merit, credentials, or status. Media and journalism. Editors, publishers, or media may gatekeep by deciding what news, perspectives, or stories get reported or amplified. So I know, for example, some of you may watch the news. I personally do not watch the news because it's too much. But for some of you that do, you see certain stories, but then when you go on social media like TikTok or Instagram, you're like, wait, I hear about this story. Why is it not on the news? This is an example. Some news reporters, some news stations gatekeep certain stories. If it doesn't have enough buzz or the story is not, it doesn't have a lot of oomph, then it's not going to hit it's not going to hit your TV screen. It's not going to be amplified. It's not going to be in newspapers. Sad, but it is what it is. Social media and online spaces and online communities, gatekeeping can happen when moderators or influencers decide who can participate or what content is considered acceptable or worthy of attention. So, for people like myself or those that are just like getting into content creating, sucks because when you try to go for, let's say, some brand deals or whatever, if you will, and you can have the years underneath your belt, but if they feel like you don't have a certain amount of followers, they're going to gatekeep. They're going to feel like, no, maybe next time, keep trying until, we give you a yes. But that yes is contingent upon if you have a certain amount of followers, if you have a certain amount of traction on your page, if you post a certain way, and it just sucks. But again, it is what it is. Technology and innovation and tech industries. Gatekeeping can appear in the form of control over platforms, access to development tools, or inclusion in tech communities, often affecting who can innovate or succeed. Political and social movements. Activists or leaders within movements might gatekeep by determining who is a real supporter or what tactics or beliefs are valid. Creative industries. In art, music, and other creative fields, gatekeepers like publishers, curators, or producers often control which artist gets visibility or recognition, influencing trends and careers. So, for example, we know that there's a lot of artists that are out here that are so talented in the music industry. And because of their label or because of their management, it's like they're held back to a certain degree. They can't move the way that they wish to. And this is why a lot of artists are going independent. Sometimes their label gatekeep. They don't want all the attention to be on this artist at the moment. They feel like, oh, this other artist that I'm managing is getting a lot of buzz. So let the light shine on them, and this person over here just, just wait your turn. Think that, that sucks, but I don't want to say it is what it is, but it's kind of like what you signed up for, but it sucks. Let's talk about in education. Gatekeeping can be seen when access to advanced courses, extracurricular opportunities, or even certain schools is restricted to those who meet specific criteria, often related to socioeconomic status, test scores, or connections. Social circles and personal relationships. People sometimes gatekeep by deciding who is allowed into certain social groups or activities, often based on shared interests, backgrounds, or perceived status. So I know some of you may have probably came across certain groups you would want it to be a part of, like an elite group, or you wanted to be a part of, let's say, a tennis group or a dance community, whatever the case may be. But sometimes if you haven't been in that space or invited into that space, it's like you kind of got to be invited in. Let's say, for example, like the credit union, right? Certain credit unions, you got to be invited by someone who already has a membership there. If you don't have a membership there, you can't just walk up in there like, hey, I want to open up an account. They're going to say, nope, it's a done deal. But if you are invited by someone who is already a part of that credit union, and then that also, excuse me, I cannot talk today, and that also has status, been there, with this bank for a while, you could get an account in a millisecond. So it's one of those things when it comes to the social circles, like it's not what you know, it's who you know type thing. So that's where gatekeeping can exist. Policing cultural boundaries. Gatekeepers often act as security of the cultural, deciding what is accepted or authentic within the community. They might resist changes or new influences that they perceive as diluting or commercializing the culture. So, for example, in the world of hip hop, debates often arise around who can legitimately participate in the culture, especially when mainstream artists adopt the style without understanding or respecting its roots. Gatekeepers might push back against these trends to preserve the cultural integrity. Doesn't that sound familiar? We always, like, for example, within the Black culture, right? We talk about who's invited to the barbecue that's not of our hue. So we be like, oh yeah, he could come to the barbecue. She could parlay, and it's like I'm one of those that be like, why? Just because this person sounds soulful when she sings, or this person could dance, they look like they got a little seasoning in they tank. You know what I'm trying to say? Read between the lines. But it's like, why? I'm not saying that we can't be open arms, but it's just certain things within the Black, community we should gatekeep. Another example I could give before I go off and on a tangent, I remember, you know, when Kim Kardashian had boxer braids. Girl, we've been wearing boxer braids, which is those two cornrows, since 1991. What are you talking about? Thinking she's starting a trend. And it's like, girl, no, pipe down. And the online community dragged her. And it was one of those things where I felt like, do your research, know your roots. If you're going to, hop on a trend that's already been established, do your homework. Don't make it seem like you started the trend. But I'm not the biggest fan of the Kardashians anyway, no way, no how. So I'm gonna just be quiet before I start sounding like a hater. But whatever. If you know, you know. You see me, I see you. We see each other if we're on the same page. Okay. um, Controlling access to information and resources. Access to certain knowledge, resources, or events within a community can be controlled by gatekeepers, who may only share this information with those they deem worthy or who meet specific criteria. So, for example, in underground art scenes, knowledge about secret shows, distributions, or limited edition merchandise might be kept within a close knit group, making it hard for newcomers to get involved without the approval of established members. Now, let's move on to online gatekeeping as we see it every damn day. Online gatekeeping. How has the rise of social media and online platforms changed the dynamics of gatekeeping? So, in my opinion, the rise of social media and online platforms has a wide range of access to information and communities, reducing traditional gatekeeping by allowing anyone to share content and participate. So, for example, independent musicians can now bypass record labels and reach global audiences directly through platforms such as SoundCloud and YouTube, challenging the traditional music industry gatekeepers. What are some common forms of gatekeeping seen on the internet today, and how do they affect online discourse? Common forms of gatekeeping on the internet include moderators controlling content in forums, algorithms prioritizing certain posts or creators, and community members enforcing norms or standards. These practices can shape online discourse by filtering which voices and perspectives are amplified or silenced. So you will notice with these numerous amount of updates on TikTok and Instagram, I feel like my friends are being gate kept. And all these random people I do not follow but seem to have 1,000,001 followers are on my timeline now. And it's like, why is you here? I don't know you. Why are you popping up in my feed? Why are you even popping up in my explore feed? Instagram, stop telling me who I should be friends with. It's becoming too much. Okay? And I don't like it. But nowadays, it's like you have to filter your algorithm so you can start seeing your friends post. Like, I want to see when my friends drop some heat. I don't want to see anything about some random celebrity or influencer I don't know. Like, respectfully, congratulations, but I want to see what my friends is hitting for. I want to see what they doing on vacation. I want to see what the fits is giving. I want to see announcements. Like, that's what I created my Instagram for. To be very demure, very mindful, very, all right, let me stop. But no, I created my Instagram because, for one, I saw it as like a social tool aside from Facebook where I could keep in contact with the people that I love and care about. But then once it started becoming this platform for, it's like the MySpace or the popular kids space, if you will, of the online community, I felt like Instagram started to get watered down. Then I moved on to the Clock app. I had so much fun over there. I still do, but I feel like, like, y'all making it hard for people to like go viral, for some people's videos to be seen by other people, other followers, or other people that may share the same interests or sentiments. And it's like, dag, we just trying to have fun. Like, I understand some people are trying to make $1 eventually by doing what they love to do, which is content creating. And it's like, okay, cool. But sometimes I want to see people that I know. And it's like not Instagram, excuse me, on TikTok now. Now I gotta go searching for y'all. I don't like that. But here we are. It is what it is. What strategies can individuals or communities use to overcome gatekeeping barriers? And this is especially for the people that are trying to break out into content creating, or that's in the field of content creating, but like where you can't figure out to go right or left, you don't know what to do. But this is what I think. To overcome gatekeeping barriers, individuals or communities can build alternative platforms, foster inclusive networks, and amplify marginalized voices. Collaborating to share resources and creating decentralized spaces also helps bypass traditional gatekeepers enabling broader participation and access. So for someone like me, I'm going to use myself for an example. I want to continue to make my baby, which is my podcast, grow. So in order for me to do that, I realized, hey, let me network with people that share the same sentiments as I do and who's breaking out into this field, if you will, right? Also, let's start to talk about more topics in depth that's relatable. And let's start to build a community. And if you can't get into those certain communities that you wish to get into, create your own space. Nobody could tell you no. Nobody could tell you what to do. Start formulating, your own network. Like, I've met a few people that I felt like I wouldn't have crossed paths with you had it not been for this podcast, and realize how much of an influence you truly are behind this page of yours, or how much of a girl's girl you are, how much of a helpful, insightful person you are, how much you want to see another black woman win or black man win. It's like you really have to make your own lane, create your own lane. Forget where other people are, that's way ahead in depth within this content creating game or whatever it is that you want to do. But I'm using myself as an example, right? So forget all of that. Forget all of that. If you, let's say you reached out to those people you looked up to once upon a time and you realize they're not who they say they really are, and math ain't mathin', forget it. Don't even take it to heart, because it has happened to me. I reached out to some people that I felt like I looked up to, and they were kind of like a voice of reason to get me going and motivate me within this podcast field. And they weren't that nice. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not even going to take it to heart, but I will remember that. I'm not even going to put y'all on blast, but let me tell you, when someone comes to me and asks me for advice, I'm not going to be that way. I'm not going to be that girl, because that's not me. That's not in my blood. And I want to continue to create a community, a safe space for people to talk to me about anything. Anything. You know what I mean? So I personally am not a gatekeeper. You know what? Let me rephrase that. I don't gatekeep when it comes to someone coming to me and wanting to better themselves and wanting to seek advice. And if I can make your life easier and your experience a little bit easier versus what I had to go through, then why the hell not? Why not? But what I am going to do in terms of gatekeeping is when it comes to the outsiders and they want to now jump on to the community of, the Caribbean and West Indian community. They want to jump into just, fetting because it looks cool, or going to carnival because all you want to do is wear the costume, but you don't understand the culture and the history behind why this island has carnival. That's where I gatekeep. And that's going to be another topic for another day. But however, I'm always going to encourage you to go and see for yourself. But just know, if you don't like soca, I'm sorry, y'all. Whew, sorry. If you don't like soca, why are you going to carnival? And I feel like, now that we have influencers within the carnival Caribbean community, y'all are doing too much of this. Y'all are doing too much of this. Like, let the people them come and see for themselves. Let them be immersed within the culture. Like, if they come and they don't feel like what you promoted and what they are experiencing, and if it's not matching up, it ruins it. So I just personally feel like let's talk less when it comes to certain things. Yes, for me, when it comes to the Caribbean culture, like before, when I was younger in my 20s, yes, come to Carabana. Yes, come. Let's go to Miami Carnival. But now that I'm getting older and I'm realizing how much, to go back to when I went to Vinci Mas and to realize how emotional I was on road hearing the music, seeing the people, and realizing, especially after you just lost everything, have no power because of the hurricane, and you are jumping up, you are happy, you just feel with good vibes. You have like so much to be grateful because you still have your life, and those items can be replaced. And this is coming from someone who has survived a hurricane. Okay. I was on an island with my family, St. Croix to be exact, and that's home for me and my family. And we were stuck. We endured the whole of Hurricane Maria, the beginning, the middle, the aftermath. And when I tell you it's no joke, it's no joke. And that put me into a different mindset. Like, people love the culture till it's time to stand together and be a united front when it comes to times like this. So that's why me personally, Darnique, when it comes to the Caribbean culture, I'm very passionate. And I'm not saying don't come and not enjoy, but if you're not going to be open, if you're not going to be open-minded, if you're going to be judgmental, stay your ass at home. Okay? don't even do it to yourself, because that really pisses me off. But anyways, that's where I feel like sometimes we should gatekeep. But that's neither here nor there. And I just went off on a tangent, but it's okay. But that's just what I'm passionate about when it comes to certain things to gatekeep. But now when it comes to like jobs, networking, I'm your girl. Come to me. I'm a talk. I'm a help. If I can make your life easier, like I said, why the hell not? So I think the future of gatekeeping is likely to involve a shift from traditional, centralized gatekeepers to more decentralized, community-driven models. So what I mean by that, while gatekeeping won't disappear entirely, because it's been here, it will evolve to focus more on curating and verifying quality and overwhelming amounts of content rather than restricting access or controlling information flow. So, for example, you see that they're fighting hard to get rid of TikTok, because I feel like TikTok is like a Google on steroids, okay? Anything you want to know, type it on up and TikTok is going to find it. And I personally think that they don't want us to be privy to all that information, and that's why they're fighting hard to get rid of TikTok. But you know what? I'm going to continue to enjoy it until they decide whether or not they want to take it away. If they take it away, I will be heartbroken. I ain't going to lie, because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I just be here in my bed scrolling on TikTok and I crack the hell up. Okay? And I find some things that's very informative. Like for the girls, you know, we like to shop. You want to find out some new makeup hacks, some new fashion hacks, Amazon hacks, because I'm an Amazon girly, as some of y'all know. Okay? I love TikTok, but if they take it away, I will be so devastated. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not going to lie. Because I feel like TikTok show more love on Instagram. Instagram, I feel like, is giving a little hateration, holleration in this dancery, but that's another topic for another day. So how can we ensure that gatekeeping evolves in a way that promotes inclusivity and fairness? So to ensure gatekeeping evolves to promote inclusivity and fairness, we need to prioritize transparency, right? Diverse representation and community involvement in decision-making processes. So by fostering open dialogue and setting clear standards, we can create systems that are more accessible and just for everyone. So I know I made this more informative as far as this topic with gatekeeping, because some of us, we use the term, but we don't know what it really means in its entirety. And we don't think in depth about how many areas of our lives that gatekeeping is seen. Like, we think it's just social media. It goes on in the workplace. It goes on in academia. It goes on within technology and social communities, social groups. It's all over. It's just like, you know, the word gaslighting. We didn't know what it really meant until you started hearing it on social media. But then it's like you have to educate yourself in order to really utilize that term. So I know I utilize gatekeeping a lot, but I wanted to shine light further of what it truly means and how far back it goes. It's not just recent. This thing goes way back. So yeah, I think that, if you can help someone, why not? I feel like with certain things, yes, you can decide whether or not you personally feel like you want to gatekeep. But if it's something petty, like, oh, I want to gatekeep this restaurant, I want to gatekeep this hotel. Girl, we going to find it anyway. We going to type it up on TikTok the same way you found it. Don't do that. Don't be that girl. Don't be that guy. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope that this topic sheds some light. I hope that, if you are that person that's gatekeeping, cut it out. If you can help with certain things, if you can help someone level up in a career, reach out and touch. Help them out. If you feel like you can curate a space for people to network and really, help each other, build that community, have that safe space where people can talk. Because us adults, we go through shit. We go through so much shit and we be scared to talk about it. But no, it only takes sometimes that one person. If you are that one person to make a change, whether if it's, you want to talk about skincare, the proper skincare for Black people. You want to be that person to talk about being fit and healthy. If you want to talk about books, reading, the benefits of it, do it. Don't let nobody stand in your way. Just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean that you can't do it too. So with that being said, thank you for tapping into today's episode. You see the switch? I'm crying. But thank you for tapping into today's episode. I promise y'all it won't be another long, drawn out wait until we can connect again. And remember that gatekeeping is it's only but so much gatekeeping we can do now that everyone has access to information at their fingertips. So if you could be that person to enlighten someone else, do it. If you don't feel like it, that's your prerogative, but okay, stink it ain't. But I'm happy that we're able to touch base, talk about this topic that's trending, and I will be back with another topic. I think I'm going to do another one-on-one episode because I really missed y'all. And I like this one-on-one, inclusivity for my elites listeners. We will definitely touch base very soon. Continue to enjoy what's left of your summer. Whatever you did not get to do, please try to do it. I'm trying to make the best of my summer. I've been back and forth to New York, and we're going to talk about the party that I went to in the next episode. I'll save that for another update. But with that being said, I love you guys. Please stay safe and enjoy the rest of your summer. Come on, y'all. We know these combos ain't for the faint. Thank you for listening to the Vulnerable Room podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, head on over to Anchor or Spotify to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Follow at The Vulnerable Room on Instagram or visit thevulnerableroom.com for the latest tea. See you next time. Love you all and have a great week.